From halting military aid and calling Zelensky a dictator to now helping Ukraine strengthen its air defenses, Trump has taken a historic U-turn. What does this mean for the Russia-Ukraine war? Why the sudden shift? And how is Trump aiding Ukraine now? All that and more in today's video. When it comes to foreign relations during Trump's presidency, things have never been smooth for the United States, and that is exactly what happened this time as well. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump lashed out at the Ukrainian president, a dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. He refuses to have elections is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something I'll admit only Trump and the Trump administration can do.
And the only thing he was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle. He played him like a fiddle. That's an expression we use, yes, sir, to say that he's pretty easy, A dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. Got to move fast because that war is going in the wrong direction. In the meantime, we're successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia. Something I'll admit that only Trump is going to be able to do in the Trump administration. We're going to be able to do it.
Being his usual self, Trump made the statement regarding Zelensky's popularity or its lack thereof without conducting actual research. In Ukraine, no one has questioned Zelensky's leadership. Despite the fact that his term has expired, he is under no obligation to conduct elections, as the Ukrainian law does not require elections during wartime. The rift deepened between the leaders as Zelensky responded, "With all due respect to President Donald Trump as a leader, he is living in this disinformation space."
Тобто, на жаль, президент Трамп з великою повагою до нього відносимося як до лідера народу, який ми дуже поважаємо, американський народ, який нас постійно підтримує. На жаль, живе в цьому дезінформаційному просторі.
This seemingly neutral statement got a rise out of Vice President J.D. Vance as another feisty statement was launched at the Ukrainian president via a discussion with the Daily Mail, according to J.D. Vance. The idea that Zelensky is going to change the president's mind by bad-mouthing him in public media? Everyone who knows the president will tell you that is an atrocious way to deal with this administration. However, after not too long at a briefing with the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, at the White House, Trump was quick to contradict himself. In response to a question, he said he can't believe he'd ever call Zelensky a dictator.
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question.
In the past, Zelensky had emphasized the importance and need for US-made Patriot missiles for their air defense multiple times. But there is obvious hesitation in providing the Patriot launchers due to their insane price. A singular Patriot battery is worth more than $1 billion, and every fire costs more than $3.88 million as well. And guess what? Zelensky wants both of them. In addition to the seemingly endless financial aid, Ukraine has also requested at least 10 to 12 Patriot missiles. Now, for those who don't know, since Russia's invasion in February 2022, the US has already given $182.8 billion in aid to Ukraine. Needless to say, Ukraine's getting a little too comfortable with asking for aid, especially considering the fact that for every Patriot missile that goes to them, the US's own defense system gets one missile weaker. If we look at the records, then according to US foreign military sales, the US has sold 1,119 Patriot missiles as part of 5 separate contracts between Putin's invasion of Ukraine. The majority of the European countries depend on the US for their ammunition as well. Therefore, several countries have stepped forward, and Germany, Romania, and the Netherlands have already donated the Patriot missile launchers to Ukraine to strengthen its defenses against Russia. However, the countries have a good reason to refuse more missiles, as the manufacturer of Patriot missiles, Raytheon, already has a multi-year backlog of orders. But what's so special about the Patriot missiles that Ukraine is so desperate for, more even after acquiring so many? For starters, it launches multiple missiles at once and can reach an altitude of 14.9 miles and can travel for up to 43.4 miles as well. Therefore, they serve as a piece of great equipment in case Plan B is needed, as each Russian fighter jet will be opposing 4 incoming simultaneous missiles, instead of just one, making the Ukrainian defense dominate during the war. In fact, Ukraine has already used the missiles to tackle the Russian jets, including the deadly Su-34, which were at least 100 miles away when they got targeted. According to Ben Hodges, a retired 3-star general and former commander of US Army forces in Europe, following Putin's annexation of Crimea, Patriot has proven to be a very reliable system. The Ukrainians learned very quickly how to operate it, and even more impressively, they learned very quickly how to employ it to great effect. Considering Ukraine's previous wartime success, thanks to the Patriot Missiles, Zelensky has demanded at least 10 to 12 more Patriot systems. Besides wartime equipment, Ukrainian intelligence has also given Russia a very hard time, as the fighter jets and missiles that Putin was so proud of destroying just ended up being a bunch of mock-ups planted at the base that was going to be targeted by Russia. Needless to say, the US support might be one of the most significant influences to ensure Ukrainian defense during its invasion. Which is why Trump's U-turn has Zelensky stressed now. After coming into power, Trump had a meeting with Putin in Saudi Arabia, which is neutral during the war, and guess who wasn't invited to the meeting? Zelensky, which of course led to his disappointment and the start of the downfall of Trump-Zelensky relations. After this, Trump accused him of being a dictator and said he had many opportunities to defuse the war, but he wasted them all. And no one is unfamiliar with the Trump-Vance-Zelensky meeting that happened on February 28th, where the American president pretty much lashed out and said, "You're gambling with World War III, and what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country that's backed you far more than a lot of people say they should have." But is Trump even Trump, if not severely unpredictable? All it took for this dispute to be resolved was a meeting between the delegates of each country and, of course, Putin's absence, and an agreement for a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, which was obviously rejected by Putin. To reason with the Russian leader, Trump had a phone call with him, which is interestingly right before he took his 180-degree turn on his commitment to Ukraine. However, if anyone is more terrifying than Trump, it's Putin, and he proved that by violating his agreement with Trump over a partial ceasefire, by targeting the Donetsk region in Ukraine with missiles and 40 drones. So after licking his wounds, Trump decided to fight back by supporting Ukraine even more strongly, as he promised to source them the Patriot missiles from Europe. Notice how he didn't agree on supplying the missiles and instead went for sourcing them from Europe. Considering Trump's lack of concern towards NATO and Europe, it is being reported that the US might give up on NATO command. After 75 years, Trump's offer to Zelensky might just be another step in that direction, as reports suggest America wants to exempt itself from Europe's defense situation, including providing aid to Ukraine. But this will work if only the other European countries are willing to donate generously towards Ukraine. Will Trump's master plan work? Will Putin regret betraying the US president? Will Zelensky be able to get the 12 Patriot missiles he so desperately needs for his country? Tell us what you think in the comments below. With that being said, that's all for today, folks. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any future updates. See you in the next video.